It's the Verdant Tinkerer again. Figured I'd give you guys an update on the quail. It was pretty cold last night. It was the first time it got down to just barely freezing. So because of that and a couple other reasons I'll go over, I've decided to bring them inside. One of the big reasons is since winter's coming, other than the cold, it's been getting darker sooner and sooner every day. So they get less sunlight, and as a result, as part of their natural cycle, they're laying fewer eggs. I actually haven't gotten any eggs from these guys in about 3 weeks. So if I wanted to continue to get eggs from them, I'd have to give them supplemental lighting anyway. So I decided I'd just bring them inside, because that way I wouldn't have to wire any lights outside and worry about, anything waterproof or whatever. What I made it from is mostly scrap material. This overhead light I've had, actually it's what I usually use when I start growing plants inside during the winter for my garden. This shelving unit that I got here, actually I salvaged from Home Depot. It's one of the racks that they put their seasonal plants on, like their Bonnie, tomatoes and cucumbers and all that. So I was able to salvage that, which saved me a lot of time assembling a shelf and all that. So this is pretty much all built from scrap. We have this 1/4-inch hardware cloth here, which is what I used pretty much for all of the walls on their other cages. The primary reason, really the only reason I'm using something that small, is so they can walk on it safely. If we were to get any smaller, their poop wouldn't fall through, and as you might be able to see, there's still a little bit of poop that's just catching on the mesh and not falling through. But because we're inside, we don't have to worry about any predator issues. I can use this 2x4-inch mesh, which I use for our temporary fence outside while our hedge is growing. It's a lot cheaper, easier to work with, and as you can tell, it's thicker wire, so it's sturdier. I was able to just make a simple door here, same principle as the other gates, just use a zip tie. So the door just opens like that. Just bent the wire to make like a hinge. And what I really like about the indoor cage idea is these pass-throughs here. So if they lay the eggs, the floor is sloped, and in theory the eggs should roll right out, so I can just harvest the eggs every day once they start laying again. I won't even have to go in to disturb them, and it'll also help keep the eggs clean because I won't be walking on them or pooping on them or anything like that. The openings are pretty big. Haven't seen anybody try to squeeze out through it yet, but it does make feeding and watering them a little easier. They can just stick their heads through. What I'll eventually do to help with recycling our food scraps is I'll make some kind of trough out of PVC, and I'll just hang it on there. I'll put sides on it, so I can just put any of our food scraps here and they'll be able to reach through and eat it. One of the reasons I haven't been doing that as often outside is because they'll poop on anything. So if I put like a tray in there with some food scraps, they'd walk all over it, make a mess, probably poop in their food. So this is a great, I don't have to worry about something small enough to where a predator can't reach through. They can stick their head through the cage and get whatever I might put outside so they can access. It's like this bird eating right now. And they're perfectly safe inside. I have this poop tray down here, which I'll have to empty every day because they poop a lot. They poop constantly. All that poop down there is pretty much just half a day's worth. So the only real concern with having the birds inside, right now I have them in the basement because I don't have a garage or a shed, is the smell. So I have some shredded paper down there to help absorb the moisture, keep the smell down. I'm going to have to empty it out every day. Have my shredded paper right there for easy replacement. That that's it. I did this last night, so it still needs a little bit of work, but it's good enough for them right now. And I'll keep you guys updated, you know, if anybody tries escaping or any lessons that I learned. Oh, also real quick, with this it does have multiple shelves. So my plan is, right now I'm just storing things down there. I'm thinking about getting some more quail, so I could hook up another light, another cage down there. That top cage, without getting them too cramped, I probably shouldn't put any more than 10 birds. But if I get more birds, what I'll probably do is get juveniles or birds that just hatched. I could probably put 2 dozen in there to start off, and as they start growing, I can bring some of my outside cages in here temporarily, and what I'll probably do is cull out any males, because at a young age when they just hatch you can't really sex them. And then what I can also do is, what I'm planning is put a little heat mat up here, raise the light, and then I can grow some of my vegetables basically in this whole rack system with multiple levels that won't take up too much space. So that's all I got for now. I'll update you guys again later.